Since Sweden joined NATO, its borders have effectively become NATO's borders. In the skies above the Baltic Sea and near Finland's approaches, the strength of Europe's defense is constantly tested. Russian aircraft flying without transponders, unauthorized reconnaissance missions, and now drone incursions. All are daily realities faced by Swedish JAS-39 Gripen fighter jets. Once designed as a light and smart fighter, the Gripen now finds itself at the heart of a new front. But can it evolve from being a capable interceptor into a true multi-role drone hunter? Back in the 1980s, any of the 4,300 combat aircraft from Warsaw Pact nations could have reached Swedish airspace in just 15 minutes. These included subsonic and supersonic fighters, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare planes stationed across dozens of bases, ready to strike the small Scandinavian nation. In sheer numbers, enemy forces far outmatched the combined strength of Sweden, Finland, and NATO air units in Denmark and Norway. To protect its neutrality, a stance held since 1814, and ensure national sovereignty, Sweden invested heavily in defense research, aiming to stay technologically advanced and independent, even from allies. The driving force behind this effort was the National Defense Corporation Saab AB, which produced numerous military and civilian aircraft. In a challenging period, Saab developed a fighter that not only met but surpassed expectations. The JAS-39 Gripen, a fourth-generation multi-role aircraft serving Sweden since 1996. This agile fighter, equipped with advanced avionics, featured canards for positive lift at all speeds and a delta wing that reduced drag and improved maneuverability. Its intentionally unstable design, stabilized by a fly-by-wire system, removed most flight restrictions and enhanced performance. A key requirement for the Gripen was its ability to operate from short runways, about 1,970 feet long and 52 feet wide. Sweden had long prepared for such conditions with its BAS-90 Rapid Access Air Base System, created during the Cold War to prevent its air force from being wiped out on the ground by nuclear or aerial strikes. Inspired partly by Israel's success in the Six-Day War, where the Egyptian Air Force was destroyed on the ground, Sweden advanced its dispersal strategy further. The BAS-90 improved upon the older BAS-60 system by adding backup runways near main bases, enhancing mobility for ground operations, and upgrading communication systems. The JAS-39 was built for this flexibility, with a retractable tricycle landing gear, twin-nose wheels, and air brakes on both sides of the rear fuselage. Even its forward wings acted as air brakes, helping the fighter land safely on Sweden's short, rugged airstrips. Another key strength of the Gripen is its modular design and upgrade flexibility. From the start, Saab aimed to give the fighter a service life of at least 50 years. To achieve that, the aircraft was built for minimal maintenance, featuring modular systems like the Volvo RM12 engine and PS-05 radar, cutting costs while boosting reliability. And just like a smartphone, the JAS-39 can easily update its software to support new sensors, computers, and weapons as technology evolves. All of the Gripen's avionics were fully integrated through 5 digital MIL STD-1553B data buses, an early form of sensor fusion. This concept would later appear in advanced fighters like the F-35 Lightning II and America's 6th-generation NG-80 jets. Over time, the Gripen evolved through several variants. The JAS-39B was a 2-seat training version, sacrificing its gun and some fuel capacity to make room for a second crew member. The JAS-39C, a single-seat NATO-compatible model, introduced enhanced electronics, greater weapon options, and aerial refueling. Its 2-seat counterpart, the JAS-39D, shared these upgrades. Then came the Gripen NG, based on the Gripen demo project, featuring a stronger engine, new radar, larger fuel tank, and higher payload capacity. The pinnacle of this evolution is the JAS-39E, Sweden's latest engineering marvel. In 2010, Saab received a contract to upgrade the fighter's radar, weapons, and systems while lowering costs. Despite being one of the most affordable fighters in its class, costing around $5,000 per flight hour, Saab continued pushing innovation. That same year, Sweden announced plans to buy the Gripen NG, later designated JAS-39E/F, expected to enter service by 2017. However, The first 6 Gripen aircraft were only delivered to Sweden and Brazil in 2021. The new model features a larger fuselage carrying 30% more fuel and General Electric's F414G engines, delivering 20% more thrust than the RM-12 and allowing speeds of Mach 1.1 with a full air-to-air load. Interestingly, Volvo had offered to upgrade the RM-12 engine, claiming it was cheaper, but Sweden chose the F414G instead. The radar also received major upgrades. The older PS-05/A system was replaced by the Raven ES-05ASA radar, part of the Vixen family from Celex ES. It offers a wider scan range, greater detection distance, and integrates the Skyward G infrared search and track system for passive detection of thermal signatures from air and ground targets. According to Saab, the Gripen E can now detect low observable aircraft beyond visual range using its advanced sensor dominance system, which combines onboard sensors with the Transmitter Auxiliary Unit (TAU) data link. In terms of armament, the Gripen E/F can carry up to 7 MBDA Meteor BVR missiles, Iris-T short-range missiles, and GBU-49 laser-guided bombs, alongside a 27mm Mauser BK-27 cannon. It still supports a 14,300 pounds payload that includes AGM, 9 Sidewinder, AGM, 65 Maverick, and RBS-15 anti-ship missiles. Additionally, it can be fitted with reconnaissance and targeting pods such as Rafael's Lightning Pod, Saab's own modular reconnaissance system, or France's Thales Digital Joint Reconnaissance Pod, giving the Gripen unmatched versatility in both air combat and surveillance missions. In 2014, the Gripen tested its advanced defensive system, the Survivability Technology Modular Self-Protection Pod. But the final weapons loadout of any Gripen still depends on the buyer. This jet has already proven itself internationally, operating in 5 countries and continuing to attract new orders. Saab proudly calls it a role-switching aircraft, able to change missions literally at the push of a button. What no one expected, however, was that by 2025, the Gripen would become the first fighter jet flown by artificial intelligence. Yet that's exactly what happened. Earlier this year, Saab announced successful test flights of the Gripen E equipped with the Centaur AI system, developed by German company Helsing and capable of autonomous air combat. These flights were part of Saab's Beyond project, aimed at advancing AI in military aviation, funded by Sweden's Defense Materiel Administration, FMV, as part of its Future Fighter program. The first flight took place on May 28th, and by the third flight on June 3rd, the Centaur-controlled Gripen was fully engaged in simulated beyond visual range (BVR) dogfights against a human-piloted Gripen. Using onboard sensors, Centaur executed complex maneuvers and issued simulated firing commands to the pilot. The tests were also supported by AWNC systems, which provided additional radar and tracking data. Engineers then tested Centaur under different combat conditions, changing range, speed, and angles, and even cut off external data links to evaluate its independent decision-making. According to Helsing's VP of AI, Antoine Boards, the system learned the equivalent of 50 years of pilot experience in just a few hours. Saab described the tests as playing chess at supersonic speed with advanced missiles. By the end of 2025, Saab plans a new test, a simulated air battle between 2 AI-piloted Gripens and 2 human-piloted fighters. The company also confirmed that Centaur will soon handle within visual range, WVR, combat, a key focus area for the Swedish Air Force, which continues to innovate in defending its airspace and NATO allies against potential large-scale Russian threats. With Russian drones frequently breaching Swedish borders, this development once again shows how Sweden is staying ahead of its European partners in air defense innovation. Even if Centaur isn't installed across the entire Gripen fleet, the experience gained from these tests will shape Sweden's next-generation air combat program, expected to debut by 2031. So, do you think the Swedish Gripen can rival America's NGAD fighters thanks to its modular design? Or will it take more than AI to close the gap? Let us know in the comments below.